about in lecture.
And why does it lessen your chance of a severe stroke?
If that's intact.
Oh, it's intact. Okay.
If it's good, it's not that mature in some people, you know.
Okay.
But if you got a good collateral circulation, you know, you block an artery off on one side, you can get backflow from the other ones. You have collateral circulations like around your knees, around your elbows, your shoulders and stuff. The same concepts out there, where the main arteries are going, but you have these connectors between them that you can get. If something blocks on one side, you can backflow into that area, you know. So that's what's known as your circle of Willis there. Okay. Everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that subclavian, again, sits right underneath the clavicle. We have access to the vein. There's where a lot of central lines are stuck right through there to get into the subclavian vein. Okay. As it comes out over the first rib, it changes name and becomes the axillary artery. So it's going to come out over that first one. You really don't see it coming out here, but as soon as it gets out over here, it now becomes the axillary artery. And so here it is right here, the axillary artery. Now, once it crosses this teres major, it gets into the arm, it changes name again, and it becomes the brachial artery. So this is your brachial artery. That's the one that gets squeezed shut with a blood pressure cuff. It's the brachial artery. It then divides into an artery that's on your thumb side that you like to take your pulse with, and that would be the radial artery. And the one on the other side over here would be the ulnar artery. And they go into the palm of the hand, and they actually connect. And there's a superficial palmar arch, and that's what this is. And there's a deeper one that you can't see, palmar arch. Okay. On this arm here, what's this artery right here? Axillary. This artery right in here? Brachial. Then this one? Ulna. This one here?
Radial.
And this is the superficial palmar arch. So we okay with those?
So does the internal thoracic artery branch before it?
It comes off the subclavian. So that's going to branch off the subclavian.
Before it goes to the axillary?
Yeah, and so it's actually branching. It's a branch that comes off back in here. You know, that's what it does. It just doesn't show us on the models. Okay. So, thoracic and abdominal cavity arteries. You've got those intercostals. You can see them coming off of the thoracic aorta. Here, remember all those? You saw the nerve that time. They only show really one on this one here. So the red's going to be the intercostal artery. Okay. There's actually a superior inferior phrenic artery that comes off right by the diaphragm, and one's on top of the diaphragm and one's underneath. You only need to know the inferior because we only see it good on this model right here, and that's what this branch here is. So that's your inferior phrenic. Okay. Inferior phrenic artery. Okay. So again, as soon as that thoracic aorta comes through the diaphragm, it becomes what?
Abdominal.
Abdominal aorta, right. Now, on the abdominal aorta, there's a bunch of branches. But the way you want to look at the branches is there's branches coming off the sides of it, and then there's three branches right down the middle, the mid-sagittal section that come off right off the middle. Now, in your list here, celiac trunk, and skip those bullet points, superior mesenteric, skip a bunch of bullet points in inferior mesenteric. Those three come off right in the midline. Those were where you found those ganglion in the sympathetic nervous system, were right around the base of those arteries. So as you come through, this thing here that has all these three branches off, at the base of that is the celiac trunk. As I come down, this next one right in the midline that's just right above the left renal vein is the superior mesenteric. And then stay right in the midline, not these here, if these are coming off the sides. This one right here would be inferior mesenteric. So those are the three. Celiac trunk, superior mesenteric, inferior mesenteric. Over here, you don't see them as good. There's a little nub right here next to this thing, and it's a real puny thing. That would be the celiac trunk. This one right here is superior mesenteric, and then this one right here in the midline, inferior mesenteric. Okay? So, with that said, the celiac trunk has 3 branches. Okay? The common hepatic artery, the splenic artery, and the left gastric artery. Those are the 3 branches. Now, this model here kind of shows them, but this is really kind of funky. It's hard to say which one's which, so I don't test with those. What I do test with is this guy here. Okay? Because sitting right on top of that is the pancreas. So back here would be that abdominal aorta. This would represent the celiac trunk. This would be the superior mesenteric. Celiac, superior mesenteric. And if you look at the celiac, there's 3 branches. There's this little thing kind of hanging here. There's this one and this one. Those 3. Okay? This little one, that one, and that one. Okay, with that said, one of them's a splenic artery, which goes to the spleen. One's the left gastric, which goes to the left side of the stomach. And the other one's the common hepatic, okay? Which one is this?
Splenic.
Splenic, yeah. The little one that's just hanging there in the breeze is the left gastric. See that little one that's just hanging there? That's the left gastric. And so what does it make this one? What's that one?
Hepatic.
Common hepatic.
Common hepatic.
Common hepatic. You got to get that word common in there. Okay? That's common hepatic. Okay? Now, if you look under common hepatic, there's 2 branches for it. There's actually 3. 2 that we can see here. Okay? And one of them is going to be the hepatic artery proper. In other words, it's actually going to go in the liver. And the other one is going to be the gastroduodenal. Gastro meaning stomach. The other one, duodenum, meaning this thing right here. So this would be, you can see again, here's your common hepatic. Has 2 branches, right? Mm-hmm. This one would be the gastroduodenal. Okay, that's the gastroduodenal. So what's this one going to be? Hepatic artery proper. So here's hepatic artery proper, right there. Gastroduodenal right there. Common hepatic right here. Okay. Common hepatic, hepatic artery proper, gastroduodenal. Now there's other branches, named branches after that. We used to actually have you guys learn them, but the models just don't show them that great. You'll see them in your book. Okay, there's what's called the gastrohepatoploic. There's a right gastric, a left gastric hepatoploic. There's a pancreatico-duodenal artery. So there's several other arteries that branch out off of this. Okay, another place you see this hepatic artery proper is on the liver models. Here it is right here, the red. Hepatic artery proper. Here it is right here, the red. Hepatic artery proper, right there.